Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Mr. Marty. I'm here at Inside the Bungalow. It's 7:30 a.m. Getting ready to start my shift at DMA, writing parking tickets, but thinking about the fact that in about 14 days, I'm going to be in Salt Lake City, beginning my new career as an infant teacher. I'm so excited. I can't wait. And by the way, Mr. Marty's having coffee again, so sometimes the coffee that I'm having, it's a Starbucks cup, but I'm actually at Betty's Inside the Bungalow coffee shop in downtown Mesa. She doesn't sell these, so she does sell the best coffee, but not the cups. But anyways, the coffee keeps coming up, so please excuse me as it I got to give up coffee. Maybe moving to Utah will make giving up coffee easier. But anyways, I'm having a great day, and I just wanted to share something very personal from my life. I love poetry. This is another aspect of Mr. Marty. I love poetry. And one of my favorite poets is Dylan Thomas. Unfortunately, we're not going to be talking about Dylan Thomas today. That's for another video. But I often get into poetry or poets through sometimes films or even novels or whatnot. And the film Dead Poets Society with Robin Williams, it was, I don't know, about 25 years ago. Maybe it's been more, maybe 30 years ago. The film has been out for a while, and so I titled this video, "Oh Captain, My Captain." If you've seen the film, or if you're an English major, or if you're a big fan of Walt Whitman, then you know the reference, "Oh Captain, My Captain." At the beginning of the film, Robin Williams uses those. He invokes Walt Whitman's poem. He says, "Oh Captain, My Captain." Does anyone know where that's? And no one knew. And he said it's from a poem by Walt Whitman. And then he invites his students to address him as, "Oh Captain, My Captain," if they're feeling, quote, slightly more daring. And when I saw the film and that it intrigued me, as did many of the references to many of the other different poems and poets in the film Dead Poets Society. So that got me interested in Walt Whitman, and wow, I love Walt Whitman's poetry. He's not my favorite poet, but I love Walt Whitman. And the poem itself, you don't really get this feel from the movie. When they evoke, "Oh Captain, My Captain," it's kind of a triumphant, phrase. But in fact, the poem itself, and Robin Williams says, well, it was a poem about Abraham Lincoln. Well, it's a poem about Abraham Lincoln's death, about his assassination, and about how Walt Whitman felt about this. It shook the country probably more than anything else has ever happened in this country. The Civil War was bad enough. Horrific deaths. The most bloodiest war America has ever been in its lifetime. It nearly destroyed us. It nearly consumed us, with us just fighting each other, which, by the way, is a good little kind of object lesson in today's political climate, where people are making references to firearms and political change, and we're kind of almost going down this road where people are talking about insurrection and just awful things to achieve a political objective. So the Civil War was bad enough. It just nearly destroyed this country. And then at the close of the Civil War, a very famous actor named John Wilkes Booth assassinated Abraham Lincoln. He was the most famous actor of his time. He was akin to Matt Damon or Tom Cruise, or young, good-looking guy, an accomplished actor who had played in Ford Theater many times. And when he assassinated Abraham Lincoln, shot him with a .41 caliber Derringer at close range in the head, he then jumped down from the balcony onto the stage. And then in front of everyone was just shocked because they heard the gunshot. And then John Wilkes Booth, who had played in that theater many times, jumps down and he uttered the Latin phrase "Sic semper tyrannis," which means death to tyrants always, which was a reference to Shakespeare's play Julius Caesar, which John Wilkes Booth had performed in many times. It's what Brutus had exclaimed after stabbing Caesar in the play. So Walt Whitman, like many Americans, was just really shaken by Abraham Lincoln's assassination, following closely on the heels of the Civil War. And I'm not going to read the whole poem to you, but I just want to read the beginning of the poem and then the end, because this is such a powerful poem. "O Captain, my Captain," by Walt Whitman. It begins, "O Captain, my Captain, our fearful trip is done. The ship has weathered every rack. The prize we sought is won." It's finished. And he likens this poem, it's a vessel is coming in. It's coming into port. The Civil War is at a close in this he's depicting this in the poem. And the poem, and again, I'm not going to read you the whole poem. It's an incredible poem. I urge you to read this poem yourself and to really explore the poetry, the beautiful poetry of Walt Whitman. But this particular poem, in which the film Dead Poets Society, it just made famous almost overnight. Here's the end of it, and this I think really, gets to the depth of Walt Whitman's poetry, and the depth of this sorrow and pain that not just Walt Whitman was experiencing, but everyone was experiencing at the end of this bloody Civil War. Over 600,000 Americans had lost their lives. Another, I think, 250,000 Americans were amputees. And just horrific. And at the end of this, the president, who had kind of, taken us through, and that's what he said, "The ship has weathered every rack. The prize we sought is won." The war is done. Walt Whitman is referencing this in the poem. And then here's how the poem closes. And this is powerful. This is powerful, folks. "O Captain, my Captain. My Captain does not answer. His lips are pale and still. My father does not feel my arm. He has no pulse nor will. The ship is anchored, safe and sound, its voyage closed and done. From fearful trip the victor ship comes in with object won. Exult, O shores, and ring, O bells, but I, with mournful tread, walk the deck my captain lies, fallen, cold, and dead." He's talking about Abraham Lincoln lying on this ship, dead. That the ship has now come into port, and I'd have to do more research on exactly the context of Walt Whitman writing this. It might have been when because they displayed Abraham Lincoln's body all over this country, and the ship. It might be a metaphor. It might be actually where they were bringing in Lincoln's body for a viewing to some port or harbor. Again, I'll have to do more research about that. But I wanted to come on here and talk about "O Captain, my Captain," one of the greatest poems ever written. And it's not a happy poem. It's not, the beauty lies. The beauty of this poem lies in the sorrow that Walt Whitman is expressing about, "Oh Captain, my Captain, my Captain is lying. Walk the deck, my Captain lies, fallen, cold, and dead." And it's a powerful poem, and part of this, and I've referenced this in many my videos, and I'm going to keep talking about this, or some might say preaching. Look, folks, we've got a finite amount of time here. Abraham Lincoln had a finite amount of time. His life was cut short by an assassin's bullet. But all of us have very finite lives. We're not going to live forever. So seize the day. Carpe diem. What Robin Williams talked about in that film, what to some extent, even "O Captain, my Captain" is talking about, the death of Abraham Lincoln. Seize the day. Seize upon this time that you have. You have right now, folks, you're watching me on this video. And who knows how long I have or how long you have, but however long we have, go out there and make this a positive day. Tell someone you love them. Do something good for somebody. Be merciful to someone, because we're all on this mortal coil. Shakespeare called it the mortal coil, and Shakespeare referenced death. He always said, shuffling off the mortal coil, and so we're all occupiers of this mortal coil that is someday we're going to shuffle off and we're going to be no more. And so in all of these videos, whether I'm talking about poetry or this or that or whatever, I want to urge you, and really in some ways I'm kind of urging myself to seize the day. Make your life extraordinary. Don't just wait around and wait for stuff. Go out there and make something happen, and explore the beauty of this world. Look up Walt Whitman's poem. Just go on Google right now. Oh, Captain, my Captain, Walt Whitman. Bang! It comes up right there. It's an awesome. I found this on an awesome web page called poetryfoundation.com. It's free, doesn't cost anything. There's no spam. There's no commercials on the website. Just poetry stuff, And so read this poem, download it, talk about it, and kind of meditate on what Walt Whitman is trying to say in this poem. Our lives are finite. Abraham Lincoln did something extraordinary. He kept this country together, liberated the slaves. African Americans in this country. We've made so much progress, and a lot of that comes back to Abraham Lincoln. Oh, Captain, my Captain. That's who Walt Whitman is talking about. That's when Robin Williams references, oh, Captain, my Captain. That's what he's talking about, Abraham Lincoln. And so go out there and do something extraordinary like Abraham Lincoln. And because our lives are finite, we only have a certain amount of time. So that's my plea to you. Oh, Captain, my Captain. Go out there and make this an awesome day. Go back and watch Dead Poet Society again. Go see what a wonderful movie this is. And just make your life extraordinary. Thanks, folks. We will talk soon. This is Mr. Marty, or if you're feeling more daring, oh, Captain, my Captain. Take care, folks. Bye.